The best way to destroy the capitalist system is to debauch the currency. Is that there is only one way to kill capitalism, and that is by taxes, and more taxes.
If you have been paying attention to what we have been witnessing as citizens of our respective countries since the past few years, is that people are now more and more interested in investing their money in traditional methods like gold or silver, as well as in ultra-modern assets like Bitcoin recently. This has especially gone up by a wide measure ever since the COVID-19 pandemic hit countries across the globe. But why do you think that is? What is it that is pushing people to rely more on gold, silver, or Bitcoin rather than on fiat currency or other investments backed by the monetary system, such as bonds, stocks, etc.?
This law here is Gresham's law. Bad money drives out good money.
Well, the biggest reason is the government. Yes, you heard that right. If you ask some of the experts across the globe, such as Robert Kiyosaki, an experienced financial advisor, businessman, and investor who believes that the governments are actually forcing its citizens to buy gold and silver, regardless of the currency. Their activities and strategies in the recent years to manage the financial crisis has led to a situation where money has become an unreliable source for most people residing in the country. How? Well, reports will tell you that the number of notes printed in the past few years has been more than it was in the last 500 years of financial history. The reasons for printing are many, some to combat national debt, some to encourage spending, some to flourish the money supply in a certain economy.
And so all the money these Democrats or whoever they are proposing, it's just going to print more fake money, more bad money. And it's going to drive out good money, which is good for gold and silver and some crypto. But the Biden plan is just going to just drive out. It's not going to work. It has never worked throughout history.
But whatever the reason might be, we cannot deny that printing an unlimited number of notes without thinking about the consequences is doing nothing but hurting the value of money, and in turn, the economies bite big time. It is the similar situation that used to be the case a long time back in the 1990s when you could see copper tinge around the silver dimes and quarters that you owned as a kid. What was the copper? It was an act of devaluing and diluting the actual value of that silver or gold coin by reducing the weight of the metal used. That was again an indirect way to reduce the overall value of not the silver, but the actual money, dime, quarter, dollar, as people would soon catch up with the fact that they are not really getting the right amount of value, and hence hike up prices to compensate for what they lose out on. That was when many people started buying and storing gold and silver because they realized that when used as a source of exchange, it was easy to devalue the metal, but if they could own it in kind, the value of a dime or a quarter of a dollar falling or rising would make no difference to their wealth. This was the beginning when the people in the system started pushing people to not trust the fiat blindly and started thinking more in terms of actual valuable metal whose value did not get affected by the value of money. This distrust further got hiked up when the dollar was taken off of the gold standard. What did this action portray? That now money was not limited to a certain amount, like silver or gold or Bitcoin are limited and could not be created out of thin air. Money was now free to be created by will, which eventually makes it seem like fake money, while the real money, the real thing with value, is the unaffected assets, gold, silver, Bitcoin.
When Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, that's why I'm looking for gold. But throughout history, every time they've done this, it doesn't end well. So that's why I've been saying buy silver, buy gold. Now this is the problem, as some of you guys know. The price of silver goes down, but you can't buy it.
Robert explained that this trick to print more money or devalue money in order to help the economy never works. It is basically about Gresham's law. Bad money will always drive out good money. What does that mean? It means that the more people try to force upon bad money on the people, which is the unlimited printed notes or the scratched off silver from the coins, the more it will result in driving out and hyping up good money like gold and silver that is hard to create and devalue at will by any authority across the world. And anytime the government has tried, they have fallen flat on their faces. One example is when the African government started printing noted in Zimbabwe, the richest and fastest thriving city in the country. But as time passed, the city went from being the richest to one of the poorest in the country, and the condition has not improved even to this day. The main reason this happens is that this printing of what Robert calls fake money acts as a stimulant for inflation. Someone said that the only way to kill capitalism was to add as many taxes as possible. And when money is printed without restriction, what happens is that the value of a single dollar goes down, which pushes up inflation as well as tax amounts to be paid, which becomes increasingly harder for the not-so-rich citizens, and it gradually leads them into worse and worse conditions. This will then force the government to come forward and help them, probably through subsidies or Social Security, which could possibly further push them to print more to fulfill demand. It is truly a vicious cycle, which in the middle of it all, not only kills capitalism, but also weakens the currency more and more over time. The result is in front of us all. Try going into a store and ask to buy gold or silver. You will most probably not be able to buy as much as you wanted because it is now getting rare. This is the sign that people have realized the importance, and now, as more and more demand grows, the prices will at some point start to rise as well. No matter how much money is printed, these metals are limited in amount, so they will always be invaluable. The best thing in this situation then is to buy as much silver and gold, and even Bitcoin for that matter, and hold on to it. Do not sell it when you need money. Rather, go towards taking a loan, because with interest rates going lower, you could survive spending the fake money while you keep the real deal, the real money, hidden away somewhere to be passed on to the next generation, as the future will hold a far greater value for these assets than it does now. You will honestly be doing your children a favor leaving them a bunch of silver, gold, or Bitcoin rather than a certain sum in the bank, which will be devalued by the time they get it, because the massive inflation will take place between now and then. At the same time, gold and silver would still be as valuable and probably even more, much more. This can be seen with the massive number of industries that these metals are used in, to take medicines, to purify water, to make computer chips, to make tools, and much more. The main point being that these are indispensable assets. This importance combined with their scarcity makes a combo that is unbeatable by any currency in the world. So, start to see beyond fiat currency and try to see what will help you keep and grow the value of your money, rather than decrease it over time, without any fault of your own. That is the only way you can move forward without eventually burning out under the pressure of rapidly increasing inflation.
I just love silver. I love gold. I've been all over the world looking for it. I believe in Gresham's law. Bad money drives out good money. And this guy Biden, I'm not blaming Biden, please get me, I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm just saying that the system is forcing all of us to become gold and silver and possibly crypto buyers right now.